anyone that can get collaterals in this game. I'm joking. But, I mean, imagine though.
The more I kind of wish that was added to the game.
Yeah, that'd be cool, right? Like if they both
get some quad feeds going,
line up and you know get like a triple headshot. That's nuts. I mean, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen in these lobbies.
Yeah, everyone's sort of on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly. So
we saw like 4 or 5 kill grenades earlier as well. So that's the way you get collaterals in this game. You just lob a grenade. But that circle, I'm kind of liking that. It's it doesn't favour either team too much.
Nope.
Obviously, the USA can come along that east side, sort of to the east of Yasnaya, and work their way in the circle there. And Canada can focus on Stalba, take the high ground. So it's going to be one where I think it's going to be a rush for the hill, really.
Yeah, for sure. I think the high ground is favoured, but I mean we saw it with Greece in the first 2 games, and then he just threw it anyway, so it didn't really matter. But the first 2 games were pretty good, pretty convincing. They had the high ground for both of them, and it worked out pretty damn well. So we'll see if Canada goes for Stalba pretty swiftly. They're the ones that are closer to it.
It's all about whether they recognise that and they go for it, because that was what Greece did so well in those first 2 games, was that they recognised that they don't necessarily need to take centre circle, they just need to take the positions where they can take a lot of map control and take over and basically area deny on the other team. So I want to see Canada, especially that group around Severny, make a really early rotation up towards the top of Stalba and take over the dirt road and just prevent USA from making any sort of inroads up onto that hill.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like some Canadian players are making their way towards the circle. You've got 4 players inside.
There's enough loot on Stalba for 4 people, really. I almost say just send them up there now.
Yeah, exactly. Although, I mean, the issue is if maybe USA just sends it straight up there with like multiple players, and it might be a bit of an issue.
Bit of a miss.
Yeah, but you see, everyone's kind of looting up still in Severny and in Rozhok for the Canadian players. They've chosen to essentially loot pretty sort of together, I guess, which is quite nice. If you start to loot sort of split, you might get picked off. When players are rotating and stuff like that. So especially.
But then there is also the downside where they're not going to have as much loot.
That's true.
They've got like 6 people in Rozhok, where realistically it could just about manage 4, particularly in the loot settings that we're using. So. I kind of think that maybe they might come a little bit underlooted, particularly they have like 10 players in Severny, for example.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have that many vehicles for starters. And they also, I don't think the loot's going to be amazing. So perhaps they're looking to loot their way into the circle, which might delay their progress.
Yeah, I'm wondering so as well. If I'm not exactly sure the loot settings in these games. This is definitely not competitive settings, because the circle's already it's already shifting.
We've got a baby circle. So.
Yeah, it's a small circle as well. So definitely not competitive super settings, but it is edited settings nonetheless.
Yeah, I know for sure that the loot's turned up pretty much at competitive levels. So everyone's getting the guns, but I think USA should be more stacked just because of how split they are. But then there is the downside of they're further away from the circle, and they're sort of more disjointed coming into phase 1.
Yeah, exactly. But see some more movement from Canada coming out of Severny. It looks like they're going to try and take residence in Stalba. You've already got 2 players there already, so that's good to see. What we expected from them. And
some Zubas on the eastern coast.
Conti spearheading the USA team. She's actually right in front as well. She's like
the general of the team.
She's the leader. She's like, charge! I love it. That's great. And I can actually imagine her saying that as well.
It's a very cat thing to say.
Yeah. So we'll see how she deals with this.
I wonder if maybe they're going to stop it, because obviously they're right next to the sort of the southeastern hill in the circle, and you can use that to quite good effect to scout sort of the southern side of Stalba. So I expect they're going to chill there, going to maybe group up as a little group of like 5 or 6, and then use that to try and progress central. But it does look like Canada already has control of that hill, the Stalba hill, that is. So now it's all about whatever positions America can salvage in the circle.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what they can get. But I mean, I think they'll just take whatever they can get, and then make a push somewhere and try and just take them in a sort of a, I guess, a mechanical fight, just a straight up fight, because
that's a saucy crate.
They know their ability. Yeah, that's
just off the top. There's an AUG as well. So AUG or AUG MK14, whatever floats your boat.
Extended quick draw sniper mag as well. That's some rare stuff right there.
If I'm honest, I'm taking MK AUG there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I do love a good MK up close.
But I mean, is that good for like multiple
I mean,
players?
either you give it, you give one to either player, and then use both at range, or you.
Yeah, I think that might be best to get some picks at range, because I mean, if you're going to deal with multiple players, you know, you want a 40 rounder than a 20 rounder, really, don't you?
Yeah, that is true, but also there's a lot of really close range gunfights that occur in this, particularly. Rip Zanadar, the general, gets taken down by his own teammate.
Wait, what? Where is that?
I think it's right in the middle, around like right in Starboard.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
Never mind.
Wait,
no, it's up in the northwest.
Is he trolling?
Is he not going to res?
What is this?
What's he doing?
I am so confused.
Res your boy. There you go.
Okay.
Got eventually. Obviously, it's worth pointing out that unless you're on your platoon, you can't actually see it like a tag above the player.
Oh.
You can only see them on the map. So I wonder if maybe you didn't quite realise that.
Oh yeah. Okay. That would make perfect sense. Yeah. If he's not paying attention to his minimap, then yeah, possibly.
That's an American circle if I've seen one.
Yeah, that's a very red, white, and blue circle for sure. Now they're taking up residence in, I guess, the compounds just on the foot of Stalbert towards the east, and I mean it's a spot, but it's not exactly high ground. They're not really taking much.
Yeah, they need to try and get up to this one that we're showing now. This compound has a lot of vision from it. Do you remember, whilst we're having a bit of a lull, me, you, Inhuman, and Painkiller, I think it was, we were in this compound, and I got knocked like 20 times at the same window. I was out in that little house, and I just got knocked 20 times. Canada pulling up. Richie on his lonesome gets put in the ground. And Canada now taking over the power position. The Saints Graveyard, I'm going to call it.
But you're in the little small house.
Yeah, I kept getting shot through the side window.
Yeah.
I didn't realise where I was getting shot from for like 20 minutes. We just sat there the whole game. I think we actually won that map.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was the Face It game. But yeah, Drassel there as well in the pull-up. He was amongst the members that did take down one of the USA players, but you still got some players funneling in from the south from USA. They're still coming in, so they're not all there. But are they really all going to fit in that compound? Are they trying to shove themselves in that compound?
I expect that's why we see all these players down in the south. Is that because you can't put more than maybe 8 players in that compound at best.
I mean, they can try.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It just won't. Like, there's only so many windows that you can shoot out of.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine what we'll probably see is some of the MPL and pro players just kind of try and take some space and do what they normally do in squad games and try and take control and get some angles to sort of pick off players from different sides.
Ooh, shifted straight back towards Canada, and now the high ground really is going to favour them. I think we need to see some of the American players try and get up north.
Yeah.
Try and wrap around. But obviously they can't know that area is clear, so they need to do some scouting soon. Otherwise, they're going to be pinned by this Canadian death stack.
Yeah, what they need to do is send someone just towards the outskirts of Kameshki, just to look up the hill slightly, because other than this, they need to make their way uphill, I suppose. And if there's no one to the north, then they Canada can just focus on USA mostly, so it's it's only 1 point, and
Triggs
Triggs gets knocked.
Is he safe? Yeah, he's just about safe for now. But I want to see the group up towards Starboard, sort of go north and take over the compound just to the north of where we see in this gunfight. There's a big gap in the Canadian line right now, and if America spots that, they can use that to sort of get round this wall. Yeah, right here. If they can get here and maybe get up slightly further up the hill, then they can start to collapse on the sort of the western line of Canada.
It's kind of funny because it's not really like there's kind of like two lines of Canada. There's a line that's up top on the dirt path towards Stalbert, and then there's one like 200 meters further down where you got the front line of Drassel and his squad sort of just facing off against the line of USA. And I feel like the people at the back aren't really being too useful, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's not really much you can see from there. And they are starting to move their way down now. They're moving towards that compound that we showed. So they're at least going to put, it looks like maybe 3 or 4 players in that, and try and deny the map control from the USA, rather. Yeah,
exactly. But it's getting to the point where they're kind of taking so much space towards the north that it might block off USA's potential movement up there as well. So it might prove to be quite rough for USA once they start to spread a lot more. And also they're spreading towards the south as well. You see there's like 4 players, all the way sort of southwest where
Pentalon's on the move. Cherry Poppin's got a knock onto
Ooh.
Trigger, and it looks like Pentalon wants to go and flush that kill out and at least get a trade, but he has to be careful. Tarin, just above him, she's... as soon as she peeks this, she can get a pretty free kill. But Pentalon gets the double spray.
Nice.
2 for 1 is already a big advantage for the team. So even if he goes down now, he's done work. That's Bolt. Pentalon gets another one. No, it was a flush, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
But more have come to join him now, so he's actually doing work. Tarin got a nade back, but Twin got the trade knock onto Tarin. So it's getting a bit leery in the middle there, as we're seeing a proper engagement come out. And it realistically is going in the favor of the USA. Chun got a couple knocks, but Win's starting to flush out players, and Chun goes down. So the... well, look how many knock players they have for Canada. This number, it says 30 to 25, but realistically, it's more like 30 to 20.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many notch players. Lots of flashes coming out with nades. Drassel, he's trying to do what he can. 15 HP though. It's not... Oh, no,
this is good. This is... just bounced a bit too far.
By the,
Round two?
Thing there. Yeah,
he gets one.
Okay, right, yeah, that's not too bad. He needs to throw more though, and closer as well.
The problem is he has no support whatsoever. There's no one near him to help out. The Canadian line's sort of been split in half now as the Americans are picking off the Canadian players on the north and on the south one by one.
Yeah, and
Bart's going to make, and Drassel goes down. USA up to 10 kills now, 30 to 19.
Wow, solid. That's solid. And I mean, once it looks like Thistle's been flushed out. So the southern players are going to now push up and kind of sandwich the whole pack of Canada, really. And once the northern side of USA's won their fight, they can then push around, and it's just like I just keep saying, it's just a concave essentially where they're just going to completely sandwich them.
Shrew's trying to do some work, but he's completely on his own. There's no one really around to protect him. He's got one knock already. He's doing damage, but he can't quite get the knock, and he actually gets taken out by Wooly.
That's some shots you do not want to miss. That's for sure. That looked pretty rough from our point of view. But Zellandar, he is not. See, that's the Canadian general down already. So
we see it now, and the USA group has sort of formed into these 3 stacks that are going around and sort of picking off the stragglers of the Canadian team. That's really starting to get disjointed. It's starting to get pulled apart by the repeated USA attacks. It's over double in the favor of USA now.
Yep.
And there's a bit of an enfilade coming on as the USA flank is starting to attack. Lampalot gets one, I think he got 2 actually, and Civil joining in as well. So this entire western line completely exposed now to the USA players pushing up this ridge.
Yeah, and Civil flushing out some Canadian players here as he pushes on around this this dirt path. And there is a few players in front of him, but Relo makes swift work of those.
He just comes in, just knocks 3 players. Where is he now? One of the last players up for the team.
Wow, yeah.
Sambuca's doing a bit of work, but there's not much they can do at this point. But there's like 2 of them versus the team. There we go. The victory in favor of USA, and I think that is our new record for the most one-sided win.